Hello, my students. The first page is probably going to take the most videos to cover because it's on the widest broad amount of material. It covers a more range of material, but we'll see how it goes. Now, it starts off with numbers. We're just working with numbers. There's 4 of them. Now, the main topic here is, do you know how to work with a negative? So a negative in parentheses squares means the square is affecting the negative. So this would be negative 6 times negative 6, which is 36. If it's not in parentheses, it means the square does not affect it. So this would be just the opposite of 6 squared. The square only affects the 6 because of no parentheses. So this would be negative 36. Very, very common mistake. Very few times have I ever had everyone get it right. It's just a very common mistake. So here, negative 5 in parentheses, so the square affects both. Now, if the square would be inside parentheses, it still does not affect the negative. Only if it's outside the parentheses affecting the parentheses. So this would be negative 5 times negative 5, which is 25. Boy, is time going fast. So this would be the opposite of 5 squared, so it's the opposite of 25. So do these two for me, please. Okay, so this would be 64 positive because the negative's in parentheses, you're squaring it. And this would be the opposite of 64. Now, I thought I would go ahead and just start the laws of exponents, even though I'm not going to finish them in this video. So here we go, the laws of exponents. Now, this is really not the first law of exponent. This is, but I put this one in this year to just help you remember. When you have a number x plus a number x, you add the coefficients in front of the x. So if I said what's 7x plus 5x, you would say, 7 of these plus 5 more would give me 12 of them. Then 10x minus 2x, I have 10 of them. Oop, I got to give 12 of them away, but I can't give all 12. I only have 10, so I still owe 2 of the x's. Then the first law is, when you multiply two things same base, you add the powers. I feel like I'm talking way too loud, but we'll go with it. Maybe I'll bring Trixie. Trixie? No, not in here. Must be napping. So when you multiply two things same base, you add the powers. So if I have 4x times 8x, I would go 4 times 8 is 32. Then x to the first, if it's not shown, assume to be 1. X to the first, that would be x to the second. Then x to the 6th times x to the 4th, that would be x to the 10th. Because when you multiply two things same base, you add the powers. So this one, 3 times negative 4 would be negative 12. X to the 6th times x to the 10th would be x to the 16. Then y to the 8th, y to the 11th, that'd be y to the 19th. Try this one on your own and turn me back on. Okay, hopefully this seems pretty straightforward so far. X to the 7th plus, start over. X to the 7th times x to the 10th is x to the 17th. Y to the 8th, y to the 4th is y to the 12th. Z times z to the 4th is z to the 5th. Now, if you want, you could put a 1 here. Wouldn't mark that wrong at all. Then we continue. What do you do when you have a base raised to a power, then you raise it all to another power? Well, the law says multiply the powers. So x to the 6th to the 4th would be x to the 24th. x to the 10th to the 8th would be x to the 80th. So you do this one. Yes, x to the 20. I knew you were paying attention, even though you got that bag of Skittles in your hand. I don't mind it one all. So if you have a fraction raised to a power, you raise both terms of the fraction of that power. So if I have 2/3 squared, since they're both in parentheses, the fraction's in parentheses, you square both terms. So it'd be 4/9. Well, I guess I already did the answers for these two. So 2/3 cubed, most people get this wrong. 2 cubed is 8. 3 cubed is 27. And I have some sort of bug has gotten in my house. Rah! So, how about dividing? Well, when you divide two things same base, if the powers are the same, as long as x is not 0, and we're going to assume it's not, when you divide two things same base, you get the answer of 1. If the top power is bigger, then you go top power minus bottom, and it stays in the top. If the bottom power is bigger, you go bottom power minus top, and it stays in the bottom. So if I have x to the 6th divided by x to the 4th, that would be x squared. Top power is bigger, so 6 minus 4 stay up top. Bottom power bigger, so 20 minus 10, and it stays on the bottom, or in the bottom would be a more proper way of saying it. So do this one right now for me. I would appreciate it. Now, the coefficients are done differently. It's not a power. So what number goes into 6 and 9? That'd be 3, so that's 2/3. 8 minus 7 is 1. And 10 minus 2 is 2. It stays on the bottom because 10 is bigger. You had more to start with on the bottom. Now, we didn't finish the laws, came close, but I don't want huge videos if I could help it. So I'm going to stop there, and hey, we've gotten 1/3 of the first page done. Bye-bye.